Okay, so when you like, if anyone was to get in an argument or like we got in like fights or anything, you would take us to the restorative room and we would sit in a circle and talk it out.
Great. Thank you for sharing that.
If that,
Yeah. So, yeah, restorative practices are really just strategies to get along in the classroom, to get along in our school community, to get along with your family, your friends. They're skills that you can take with you to college when you're in a workplace. You can use them with your family now, when you have a family later on. They're just ways that you can figure out when something has been done wrong so that it can get made better. And Serenity's right. Most of the time when we're having a conversation, it will either be just a few people or we come together in circles to talk things out. And we come together in circles for a couple of different reasons. The two main reasons that we come into circles are first for building community. If you were here last year, you might remember just sitting in circles every single morning just to talk about how things were going and how you were feeling and your favorite flavor of ice cream. Those are the kinds of ways that you can build community with your classmates, get to know each other a little bit better, and have a place where you can share things with people that you trust. The other reason is what Serenity was talking about, and that's responding to harms. If there's an argument between two people, if something happens, then those people can sit down together. Sometimes it's one person in the class or with teachers, but those people can come together and try to make things right. So here at Glow, we've really been focusing on the circles in person, but yay, COVID, we're gonna try to bring our restorative circles to the online world this year. So what that means for you is that your teachers are going to be working to help you establish some circle guidelines, some virtual turn taking, kind of what that looks like. Normally when we would be together physically in person, we would have a talking piece that gets passed around, and whoever has the talking piece has this privilege to speak. Everybody else is listening. That's going to look different online. So we're going to kind of figure that out together, and your teachers are going to be working with you on that, and I'm going to be working with your teachers on that. And just really respecting the process of the circle as we're together in online, but even as we're separate, like in our own houses. And so what that means for you all is that you're really going to be practicing, especially because you guys are the first class that is going to have restorative practices all the way from when you started Glow up until you graduate, that we're really expecting you guys to get better at this and to do a great job at respecting each other and to create some spaces where people can really feel like they can share. So some of the guidelines that your teachers might be talking to you about for your online circles are speaking from the heart. So I've talked to a lot of you about this last year, telling your own truth, not somebody else's. Well, so-and-so said that you said. Telling your own truth, your own experience. Listening from the heart, so listening to what somebody else is saying, and instead of telling yourself like, oh, she never listens, or oh, she's always making stuff up, letting those things go so that you can really hear somebody else and really hear what they're saying. Being spontaneous and not practicing everything that you're saying while somebody else is talking, but really just waiting until it's your turn and trusting that you'll know what to say when it's your turn. Saying just enough, not dominating the whole conversation, the whole circle with your story, but just saying just enough to get by, so that other people can have their chance. Speaking into the circle, which is a lot easier, I would say, virtually than it is when you're physically in a circle. If you're physically in a circle, sometimes you have a tendency to respond to the person who just said something instead of talking to the whole circle. When you're online, you're just talking to yourself in a room anyway, and everybody's on the screen. So it's a lot easier when you're virtual. I am eyeing some of you. You don't know who it is, but I'm looking right at you right now. Listening without reaction or judgment. Not rolling your eyes or laughing when somebody says something, or just scoffing at what they said, but being respectful when somebody shares something, because especially if they have shared something that's important to them, that's made a difference in their life, that has hurt them or that they care about, and you laugh at that, that's really detrimental to the circle. It really hurts community. And so it's really important to practice without any big reactions or judgment. And finally, very, very important, respecting confidentiality. Even if you're in your own house and somebody shares something with you and they're in their own house, it, what happens in the circle stays in the circle. All the information, all the things that are shared need to stay here. You can't be like DMing somebody over on the side when somebody's sharing online about something that's going on and you're like, sending it out to Insta or whatever. You have to respect everybody's confidentiality. And that's especially important online because it might feel like, oh, well, we weren't together. It doesn't feel as intimate as a circle, but it's still really important. So your teachers, like I said, are going to talk to you more about all of this. I'm going to pop into your leadership advisory at some point, just to kind of talk over it with you as well, just to check in with you. And I wanted to make sure that you have my contact information too. So we'll make sure that you get this. I'll send it out in email or to your Canvas, maybe through leadership advisory. But if you need to get it up with me, because like Mr. Kirby said, things are going to happen this year, especially, this is just a crazy year. So if you're having a conflict with another student, you're having an issue with somebody who's, sending you messages or doing some sort of thing online, you are having a fight with your friend and you guys can't seem to work it out, whether that's during school time or on your personal time, you are welcome to reach out to me just like you would if we were at school. And you can get up with me like this, like over video with Google Meet if that feels best to you. You can text me on that Google Voice number if you want to. You can give me a call. If I'm in a meeting or doing something else at the time and can't answer you right then, can't answer your video call, can't answer your call, I'll make sure that I get back to you the same day. But I'm really happy to continue talking with you guys this year and helping you work those things out because you really got a great start at that last year. You really were able to be able to come together and to figure things out instead of just being like, okay, well, she was my friend, but we got in a fight. Now I'm never speaking to her again in my life. We kind of started out the year that way and you guys started to get really good at that. So I hope that in 7th grade, that's something that you'll really pursue and make sure that you're building lasting relationships. So I'm excited to see your faces again, and I'm really looking forward to getting to talk to you more this year. All right. Ms. Meredith, go ahead.
All right, guys. It's been a long day and your brains are taking in all the info. So please bear with me for just a little bit longer. We'll take it to the home stretch. So my name is Meredith Staley. Some of you guys call me Miss Meredith. Some of you call me Miss Staley. I'll answer to either or. I am your school social worker here. This is going to be my 3rd school year here with GLOW. Part of my role is just to support students in a lot of times things outside of just the traditional academic stuff. So more social emotional needs, supporting student mental health. So you probably got a little blue sheet in your binder. It says Mental Health Matters. That has all my contact information on it and a lot of really good resources that we're going to be talking about today. So my role also is to connect students and families to resources in the community. So if there's something that your family is in need of, whether that be food, whether that be housing, or whatever the case may be, I have a lot of knowledge about resources here in the community. So feel free to reach out to me on any of the ways that you'll see my slide with all my contact info. So for being real, COVID has flipped our worlds upside down. It has really caused us to have to stay home, to isolate a lot, to keep other folks safe, to keep ourselves safe, our family safe, our friends safe. So a lot of times with doing that, we are isolated and feel like we're not as connected to the relationships that we have. In a traditional school year, you have your teachers, you have your peers and folks that you're engaging with on a daily basis. So something that we need to feel good as we go through life is a sense of community and a sense of connection. to feel like we belong, and to have relationships. They're so important. And a lot of times when we get in that isolated zone, it can feel really lonely. So something that I'm going to be doing this year is hosting some virtual groups. So I've reached out to a few of you guys today, and some of you guys who are in virtual land out there, to participate in some groups. But if I haven't reached out to you, please feel free to reach out to me. And if you're like, I just want to feel plugged into a community, I will absolutely get you plugged into one of these groups. We're going to be talking about stress management, organization, dealing with big feelings, peer conflicts and relationships, kind of like what Miss Jessica was talking about, how to navigate conflict, as that always comes up in life and in every relationship that we're in. So I think that'll be a really cool way to still stay connected and feel like you're part of a school community. We will have 7 UNCW interns working with us this school year, which is super exciting. They are studying to be social workers, and they would love an opportunity to get to know you. If you just feel like, I need somebody to check in with me and like stay on me, so keep me on my toes, then they will do that for you. They want to do that. All right, if you can go to the next slide. Awesome. So outside of the social connection, we also we need to feel supported, and we need to feel seen and heard. So a way that we can do that is through one-on-one check-ins and through supportive counseling, either with me or with one of the many wonderful interns that are going to be working with me. So think about some of those feelings that you felt over the past couple months. Maybe there were some more challenging feelings than you're used to experiencing, maybe sadness, frustration, anger. You just feel yourself being annoyed. I know I've just felt annoyed a little bit more often lately. And I think that happens when we are more in isolation. So those are things I would love to talk to you guys about. Here is all my contact information. So I have a whole lot of ways you can get up with me. So through email. I would not recommend my office phone, y'all, because I am not in my office very frequently. But I do have a Google voice cell phone that you can feel free to call. You can feel free to text. 8 to 4 is the hours that I'm available. So during school days, probably not on Christmas Day, but during just the school day, I'm happy to be here for you. Like Miss Jessica said, I'm not always going to be at my phone, or I might be in a meeting. So if I don't get back to you immediately, then I will get back to you. We also have the social work interns that would love to connect with you. And if you feel like you need a little bit more support than we're able to provide, we do have therapy available through Coastal Horizon Center. Miss Laura O'Connor is an amazing resource that has been working with a lot of students here at GLOW. I've heard some really great things about work that you guys are doing with her, and good feedback. So if that's something that you want and feel like you need a little bit more kind of ongoing support, we will absolutely connect you with her. So let's go on to the next slide. So let's say you find yourself in crisis mode and it's outside of that 8 to 4 window. Somebody's saying they don't hear anything. You guys hear me okay? The intern that was here last year was really fun and you liked her. Awesome. She's coming back. She's here today. I'll put her in touch with you, Serenity. Yeah, Miss Chloe's awesome. Okay, so crisis resources. So maybe you find yourself in crisis when you're kind of in that outside of the 8 to 4 window. These are really great resources, 24/7, totally confidential. You have the crisis text line. I know people are weird about making phone calls these days. I feel it. I would rather text people than call them a lot of times. So you have the crisis text line. If you text this number that's on the screen and that's on the little blue sheet, that is in your binder, it'll connect you with a trained crisis counselor. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, depressed, great resource. We also have the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. This is a 24/7 lifeline that is a great support for folks who, when you get into that space of isolation, sometimes those big feelings that come up are heavy and hard to sit with. So this is for folks who might be having thoughts of wanting to end their life, or maybe you know someone who is thinking about ending their life. This would be a resource that you could check in with. They give you some resources. Last but not least, most of you guys who were with us last year should know about the Say Something Anonymous reporting system. North Carolina required for all schools to roll this awesome program out. We had a lot of folks find their way to the Say Something reporting system, which was really wonderful to know that. It's totally anonymous. It's a really great resource to really look out for each other and for your community at Glow. So if you maybe are scrolling through social media and you see something like a friend has posted something that just seems like, oh, that feels really concerning, or I'm thinking they might, be thinking about harming themselves or someone else, you could screenshot it. You could at that moment then report it through the app, through the phone number that you see listed in that circle, or through the website. Like I said, anonymous. You don't have to put your name. It does not come back to you, but it allows for trained adults to be able to respond in situations where someone's life could be on the line. So this is looking out for a community. It's not ratting each other out. It's caring for one another. This is also a place where if you're experiencing bullying or you see bullying happening online, maybe like Miss Jessica said, in those DMs, maybe you're in a thread and somebody's, ripping someone to shreds. We do not want that to happen in our community. We value relationships far too much for that. So make sure that you're being an active bystander and you're making some reports through the Say Something app. It's a really great resource. So that's my whole spiel. Please reach out to us. We are here for you. Even though you might not be seeing our lovely faces every day, we're still here, and we want to be as involved in your lives and supportive as we possibly can.
Yes, agreed. And if you did not get a chance, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and send out, make sure that you have my Google Voice number. But my email address is just jprobst@Glow Academy, like everybody else's. And yeah, so I'm going to be physically at my home, but I'm going to be available to you as well. It feels a little bit tricky, I think, for Miss Meredith and I, who are used to being like up close and working with students, but we're still going to be just as available to you as before. Do you guys have any questions before we let you run off to the wild?
Can I hop in here at the very end of this call?
Sure.
Wednesday, 7th graders, you guys have been rock stars today, hanging in there, doing all of this stuff with orientation. I know it has been a lot, and I'm really proud of you for hanging in there, both on campus and off campus. Ladies, remember that tomorrow we start online learning from home. So you guys are all going to be home tomorrow learning with asynchronous work, but your classes start tomorrow. So log in and get started. Teachers, I need to remind you that students are not, if a student came with their Chromebook today, they're leaving with their Chromebook. But if they did not have a Chromebook when they got here today, they need to leave the Chromebooks that were assigned to your room in your room with you. I've gotten emails from 3 teachers about Chromebook needs from students. Teachers, if you haven't already recorded that information, I need you to email me this afternoon the names of any students that are in your classroom right now that are going to need for me to follow up with them to get them a Chromebook. Okay? Students, if you need a Chromebook, we are working really hard to get you them. We need to get through the rest of this week with orientation, just like we got through orientation with you today on campus. But as soon as Friday's orientation is over with students, I'm going to be moving the Chromebooks that we have in our building out to students who need them. All right, so we got your back. All right, classes start tomorrow. Game on, ladies. Have a good afternoon.
Great. Bye, guys. It was so great to see your faces. Have a wonderful first day tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.
We'll hang out here in case anybody has any questions that you want to just stick around for, but otherwise, go ahead and head out.
Bye, Raya. It's good to see Gracie Jones.
I know. Hey.
Her picture was frozen. She looked like she was meditating.
Jessica, that is you. I couldn't see with your.
Let's see, Jessica, you said, what about the thing Miss Chloe is doing? Yeah, so she's helping me lead some groups. So if she's reached out to you today, then you'll be included in that. Arabia Earth.
Hey, Arabia, you weren't here for the meeting. You missed it.
You're muted.
Okay, I was here for the meetings.
You were? Okay. I can't see everybody on my screen, so I can't tell.
I think it was just such a big meeting.
I just have found the link.
Okay, got it. Well, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
All right, bye, Jessica. Bye, Arabia.
Bye, guys.
Okay, that's it.
All right.
All right.
Same time, same place, Jessica.
Okay, exactly. Bye.
Bye.